Hey folks, do you recall a situation where a particular incident in the tool that you were using brought you literally to the churning point? And is the churning point a place of no return? So today I wanted to share with you a few stories from my personal experience, especially quite recent experience of ordering the author copies of our product runs book on Amazon. Um, that kind of, brought me almost to the churning point, but like obviously it's Amazon, so I didn't really have much choice. And in general, I was inspired to kind of think about the cancellation process and the cancellation flow after watching an interview by Paddle Studios called Churning Point. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Elisa. Thanks, Neil, for the inspiration. I'm linking um, to their video essentially later in the newsletter. Well, first of all, so I was recently trying to order author's copies of our product runs book, and whenever I put them in the cart, it was just like the website was reloading, the page was reloading, and the cart was empty. So I was trying to figure out, together with our head of growth, like what was going on and what we could change. And we wrote to support. The support wasn't very supportive. They didn't know why the author's copies aren't landing in our cart. And it turned out at the end of the day that it was all about changing the shipping address on the account. And that like literally resolved the problem. So even Amazon support didn't know why it wasn't working, surprisingly. Um, what was really frustrating in this was that they didn't like send us any notification or a tooltip or like anything that would indicate that we needed to change the address, and not that it was some nasty bug that in our case, it was pretty urgent at this point because we wanted to print these copies for our upcoming party in London. By the way, if you're free on Tuesday, the 6th of June, come join us. I'm linking to the RSVP page below as well. So, anyway, we were like at the point where we're like, either we need to print these books next week or we're looking for another printing house, which would have been difficult. But anyway, yeah, so this almost brought us to the churning point. Now, when your customer is at this point in their user journey and they hit that cancel button, this is still not the end of the world. First of all, well, you shouldn't be too annoying. You shouldn't ask them to call support or write to you so they can cancel, because this is like a no. This just leaves a very, very poor impression and a negative user experience. But you should definitely make sure that there is a little bit of friction in your cancellation flow so that the customer has the chance to rethink their decision and you have the chance to collect important information about what makes your users cancel. For instance, maybe there are some bugs that you're not even aware of, and to ideally recover that customer. So, the first step in your cancellation flow should be to remind your customer of what they are losing. So, this taps into the psychological phenomenon of loss aversion. Typically, we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose more than we want to gain, right? That's why people get stuck in like bad jobs, bad relationships, dead end situations altogether, because they are afraid of losing the good things that they already have, instead of thinking of what they can gain otherwise. So if you list the kind of features that your customer, for instance, has been using, that you know that based on the segment the customer is in, um, then you may remind them of the benefits they have gotten from your product. Remind them of the ROI from using your product. Ideally, if you could personalize it and remind them of the specific ROI they achieved, that would be so good. I haven't seen a cancellation flow like that, but if you have a cancellation flow that actually talks about the real ROI that your users have gained from your app, please get in touch. We would love to feature you. And yeah, after you have reminded them of that, the next step is to give them a redemption offer. So the kind of last ditch attempt to recover them by giving them a discount or allowing them to lower their plan, reduce the number of seats, or maybe pause their subscription for a while to give them a breather if the reason for cancellation is, for instance, financial difficulties in the company. And yeah, the next step is asking these questions. Well, why are you canceling in the first place? So this is important to do at this step, not later on in a follow-up email, because obviously once your customer is gone, they're gone, and this will massively reduce your chance of gaining some valuable insight into why your customers are really churning. So apart from giving them a few, like multiple choice questions to pick from, always leave an open-ended question for them to like elaborate on, and maybe they will provide you with an answer that you are not even aware of. For instance, that your customer support is not doing a very good job, or that you have a specific bug that is essentially preventing them from gaining the value that they were supposed to obtain from your product. Okay, and once you have done all that, simply allow them to cancel, but then make sure you conduct a churn analysis. You look at this customer, you look at their usage data, you look at the features they have adopted and not adopted, you look at their satisfaction survey results, their NPS scores, any interactions they have had with your customer support and success agents, how their tickets were resolved, was there a positive outcome, were they annoyed, were they frustrated? And yeah, do this analysis every month with all your churned customers, ideally. Or if you have a lot of churned customers, if you are at scale like that, then a random sample across the different segments. Hope this helps, and hope I will see you in London. Linking to the event landing page, RSVP. We have limited space, unfortunately, but we have pizza as well. So, book your slot, and hope to meet you in person soon to talk about churn in person and all your gory stories. Yeah, this is getting super long. See you soon. Bye bye.